Welcome, everyone. Great to have you here today on our Integrative Health Coach Success podcast. You know that our Monday shows each and every week are dedicated to tactical things that you can do that actually work in the real world for anyone in the health and wellness-based community that's looking to grow their practice and help more people. So that's what it's all about on our Monday shows. That's with myself. And then on Thursdays, Julie Hayes interviews real-life practitioners that are doing it in the real world, and we share with you those stories of how they've been able to achieve success. So I think it's a nice blend of basically strategies, and the other one is like, hey, this works, and then we show you on Thursdays. So it's been a lot of fun. Anybody who knows my work or my podcast, The Cabral Concept, we have just always grown organically. That's always been the way that I grew my practice, whether it was way back in the day doing personal training, at-home personal training, nutritional consultations, all those great things, then working with, strength and conditioning clients and Hollywood celebrities, all that fun stuff. And then opening my second location, which was a functional medicine integrative health-based center, always just kind of grew organically. And so it's funny because when you look at all of the new strategies now, it's easier to reach more people. Because back in the day, I could only reach people that were in Boston, basically within a 1 mile radius of both of my different locations. So we really have a lot of more tools at our disposal. And so I like to keep up with them, but I'm not a marketing expert. What I do is almost like I do with anything else in life, is that I know who to go to when I need that information, and then I pay them for their time. I download that information into my brain, and then I also hire great people to have on my team that now run my social media and podcasts. So what I get to do is do what I love, which is teach. So I love to teach. I love to create strategy in terms of where we're moving with Equalife or the integrative health or even my own Cabral concept based brand. Like a lot of people don't know this, but we're going to be creating a digital magazine, which is going to be for our practitioners, but also the general public as well. So I love to be able to teach. I love to be able to create. I love to be able to research and then create strategy, for the team. So my topic for today is how to get people to follow you on social media, which is the best way to reach out to new clients all over the world, and how to do that using hashtags. So when I wanted to be able to teach this, I taught it inside the Business Mentorship Experience, BME, which just ended. Will not be opening up again until next January. We go deep on all of these topics. It's 6 months long, and we walk you through how to create a career that you'll love, like literally your dream business. So we go in depth on all this, but as I always say, I like to also be able to help the people who might not be able to join BME maybe next January. And so what I do is I give you the foundation, and then you can always say, okay, I'm going to research this more, or maybe next January you'll join us. That's completely up to you. My job, again, is to teach, get the information out there, and then when people are ready to take that next step, they may take the next step. So let's dive right into it. And one of the reasons why this came up is that a lot of people, they're just not big on social media. And I like to tell those people, listen, I get it. I'm not so much either. I love to teach, right? And I love to be on video and podcasts and all that only because I love to teach. So, but the thing is, it doesn't come naturally to me to share my personal life. So I do Instagram stories and I'm talking all that, but it's not something I would necessarily be like, oh, you know what? I need to share my lunch today. It's not how my brain necessarily works, but I know that it's also the best way to reach more people. And my goal is to reach as many people as possible, probably just like you, or at least a larger audience than you may have right now. So again, you might not be familiar then with what hashtags are. Well, just think about this. You're using a hashtag sign, right? The 2 lines down vertically and then the 2 lines horizontally. So we've got a pound sign, a hashtag sign, and then you're writing words after it or a word with no spaces between them. Right? Or no hyphens, no anything. It's just letters together. I guess it could be numbers, but letters are together. So an example of that would be wellness. Hashtag sign, wellness. Hashtag sign in personal trainer. Hashtag sign, Boston chiropractor, right? Like that would be a hashtag. And then what it means is if you were to click on that hashtag, it would take you to a group of posts that all use that hashtag. So think of it as a category. So there's a category of nutrition. There's a category of at-home lab tests. There's a category of nutritional supplements. There's a category of fitness. Like think about like a navigation bar on a website. And if you click on that, it tells you more about that thing. Well, with social media, if you write hashtag Boston chiropractor, might not be that many. Like it will just show you all of the people using that in their post, and it will show you all of those posts. And typically it's the image first, and you click on it and go deeper. So a hashtag is basically a grouping of posts where people used that pound and whatever those letters were. All right. So basically you can use any hashtag you want. You can make up your own. And we're going to be talking about that here today. So I wanted to go through the foundations. I'm a big foundational thinking, foundational principle person. Like I always ask like the basic questions when I'm trying to learn about it. So again, when I was trying to learn about hashtags and what we should use in order to reach more people, and again, we don't get wild on this. I just want you to know that like we just do the basics. Like we don't try to game the system ever. We're just trying to do good work and reach people like in a natural way, in an organic way. But I want to show you exactly, what we do. So I already talked about it. It has to start with a pound sign or that hashtag sign. No punctuation, no symbols, so no dashes, and no spaces in between, all right? So you just write as many words as you want or as few words as you want. That's it. Like you could literally write hashtag W. That's it. Like, and that could be a hashtag. That would be fine. And you'd say, hey, and you can even search that, like who else is using hashtag W? I don't even know what it means, but you could check that out, all right? So the other thing is that some of you are using personal as well as business-based accounts. You really want to use this with a business account. So I always give the example, like Julia has her own personal account that she uses friends, family. It might be private. I don't really know. And then she has her own Julia Hayes Wellness as her business account. You can't use hashtags. Well, technically you could if your account's private, but nobody's gonna be able to see them because they would have to follow you, right? Or you'd have to allow them in. So you want to use it really for a business account. I do recommend anybody who's creating a business, and if they are not the brand themselves, like technically, I guess I'm the brand myself, but it's always been that way since like 2003 when I went off on my own. So I don't use a personal. We'll put it this way. I'm not on social media at all for personal things, so I don't even need a personal one. So that's that, but that's just a decision I made. And so there you have it. The other thing is you want to always remember that hashtags have a purpose, so don't randomly create them. Right? Like don't randomly create them. And also like back in the day, people would use like 30 hashtags to show up in like 30 different categories. So basically like, hey, I want to show up in wellness. So I'm going to do hashtag wellness, but I want to also show up in functional medicine. So hashtag functional medicine, and then hashtag natural health, and then the hashtag health coach, and then hashtag, like you just hashtag fill it, right? And well, the problem is that now decreases engagement. Okay. So I'm going to give you all of the, I'll give you how many to use for each main channel, all right? And then tags is basically similar on YouTube. They're just called tags instead of hashtags, all right? So you can use hashtags to increase your engagement, basically. Anybody who searches a category, and you should try it yourself if you haven't done this before, hashtag natural health. All right. So look at all the posts that come up and hashtag natural health. All right. So that's a great way, again, for people to find you. Also, bring awareness. So like you're saying, okay, I want to share with people in this post awareness around a particular issue. It might be a social issue that you support. Okay. So you can also put that inside of your post or at the very end. I'll be talking about that in just a moment. And it's also a great way to kind of start conversation. And you can use a hashtag for that too. Meaning like, hey, use this hashtag to join the conversation. All right. So a lot of people do that on Twitter as well. I'm not a big Twitter user. I post there, but it's not where I engage as much. Maybe in the future, just haven't really in the past. I think everybody should stick to a couple channels that they really want to master. Really difficult to be everywhere all the time. So let me give you some examples. These are the top 10 hashtags as of this year in 2022 on Instagram. But again, you could use this in the future as well. The number one hashtag is love. with over almost 2 billion hits. Second one is Insta Good. So whenever you write Insta, you can write like, it's always Instagram and then good. You could write Insta whatever, right? And you can put that after it. The second hashtag is the third is fashion. Fourth is photo of the day. And then the fifth one is hashtag beautiful. 6 is hashtag art. 7 is hashtag photography. 8 is hashtag happy. 9 is hashtag pick of the day. And then 10 is hashtag cute. So there you have it. What I want to share with you is this. So let's say you use hashtag love on one of your posts. You might say, well, I want to do hashtag love in my post because I'm going to reach, 1 billion people. So I would say to you, I understand the thought process. I thought that myself as well. The problem is, if you've got almost 2 billion searches or 2 billion hashtags on love, once you post hashtag love, you're going to be in like the first couple scrolls for like a second or two, maybe a minute. That's it. So you're going to be pushed way down because it's done by the time of that post. Typically, sometimes it's weighted by most popular post, but not always and not usually. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to use the most popular ones, probably because you're going to be pushed down really quickly to the bottom after another 1,000 people have posted. You'll be 1,001, right? And if 1,000 people post love in, I don't know how many minutes, but let's say 10 minutes, well, after 10 minutes, you're going to be the 1,001st post. So some of it could be timing. You could certainly do that. And that brings me to my next one. If you do want to pop up, but again, I'm not into gaming the system, but you would do something trending. So whatever's trending in the news or what people are searching for, you could put that as a hashtag, and then you would show up higher on those ranks. But again, you might not show up high for that long. So you can definitely do something that's trending, or you can just do something that's like trending in general. So like what's trending in general in the health and fitness space community? Okay, Metcon workouts, right? Well, so we had HIIT workouts, but now we're saying Metcon workouts. And it's just different names for things that we've always done, but you could do that. Or the next one could be, what would be another one? Let me think of something from the esthetician world, because I know we have a lot of estheticians as well in IHP. So it might be like vampire facial, like hashtag vampire facial. People are definitely searching that, right? Or vampire blood facial, whatever you call it. So that's that. And then could be like hashtag kinesiotaping. I know that's not new. Another one would be like hashtag pliability. And then for health, might be like hashtag carnivore diet, something like that. So again, you can put in whatever you want and you'll show up higher for that and you'll be part of those posts. So another one is you can actually look for those trends, and I'll give you that in just one moment on how to find out what's trending. A good way to figure out which hashtags you may want to use is just look for people who are doing things like you in your space. People call them competitors. I don't really like that word. Or like that word. There's 3 billion people online, right? And like, if you had 40 clients, you'd be wildly successful. So like, I don't think that we need to go into competitors, but certainly, people like you in your space. You can look at what I'm doing for hashtags. You can look at what Dr. Hyman's doing for hashtags. You can look at what Dr. Bland or Dr. Amen or whoever might be doing for hashtags. And you can use the ones that are applicable to you and don't use the ones. And you'll certainly want to come up with some that are unique to you. So like, for example, I've worked with many coaches as kind of mentees, and one of them works in the childhood autism-based field. So she's a health coach for children with autism, or at least ASD. So what the hashtags that you might come up with on your own would be like hashtag autism diet, or hashtag autism healing, or hashtag autism lab testing, hashtag autism health coach, hashtag autistic health resources. So like you can do all of these and then they would be more specific to you. But the really interesting thing is that when you go to type them into Instagram, it's going to show you how many times basically it's used. So if you type in hashtag autism diet, it might be like, oh, this is typed in 1,343,000 times. That's how many posts there are. You're like, wow, that's a really big one. Okay. And so what I always recommend is that you do some large, some medium, some small. What does that mean? Well, it means that there are maybe like 500,000 people or more searching for this, like, or posts on that. Okay, that's a lot. You might only do one like that because you have to get lucky where people see that post, right? I don't like the word luck, but you know what I mean. Okay, the second, like the next 3 or so, and I'll give you why. It'll be like the next 2 or 3. On Instagram, you'd want ones in maybe the high, like 50,000 to like 250,000. So it's kind of like a good reach. Like it's a good reach of people. And then you'd want 1 or 2 that are maybe in the below 50,000 range. Maybe it's from like 10,000 to 50,000. You don't want where nobody's searching it, right? Unless it's like super unique to you. And I'll give you that tip in just a moment. But that's what I would do. All right. So how many hashtags do you use in general? You just heard me say, well, that's about 5, right? Well, on Instagram, it's about 3 to 5 hashtags. Remember, people used to put in 40. Then it went down to, it should be sub 20. Now it's saying no more than 10. Okay. So basically, there's this unsaid rule now. If you don't want to be penalized, don't put in more than 10 hashtags on Instagram. Ideally, 3 to 5. All right. So ideally 3 to 5. TikTok, ideally 3 to 5. Facebook, 2 to 3. Twitter, 1 to 2 only. That's it. So that's how many to use per channel. Of course, that may change in the future, but as of today's podcast, that is where it's largely believed to be. I want to give you one, I think, fantastic one. And I started doing it with some of my posts and on YouTube. And basically, you're just adding a kind of secret tag. So hashtag, let's say that your, well, I don't want to give away anyone's in particular. But let's say your business is called Well by Tomorrow. Let's just call it that. All right. So, but that actually might be a popular hashtag. So, but you might do Well by Tomorrow 83. And like, oh, well, no one's going to be tagging that, right? But if you put it in your posts, what it does is it will make a specific category unique to you that basically only you would use that hashtag. And so when someone clicks on it, they'd be able to see all of your posts, or you could share all of your posts just on that one particular topic just by sending somebody to that hashtag, if that makes sense. So basically it's its own category. And we do that as well. So that's kind of like a unique thing that we try to do too. Now, of course, people can see the hashtag that you're posting, and some people eventually sneak in some of theirs as well. So that it can be done because you can't own a hashtag, at least for right now. All right. So that is that. And the last thing I want to give you is there are actually paid tools if you want to do this. We don't do that. But if you'd like to use paid tools as to what's trending and the best hashtags out there, then you can use companies such as, well, off the top of my head, I remember talking with my people about that. It was Hashtagify, it was RiteTag, RITE, and then it was HashMe. So those are a few. There's others out there as well. But if you want to do a paid service, it's probably like, I think it's somewhere around like $29 a month. You can actually see which hashtags are best. Honestly, we type it into Instagram. We look for some very popular ones, then middle of the road, and then some lower ones that are more unique to us, like really targeted, like Boston chiropractor, right? Like that's really targeted. And if you're a chiropractor in Boston, it'd be a great one to have, right? And then that's it. And then use your Instagram business account to look at your insights. It's called Insights, at least for right now. And you can actually see, oh, this post brought me in this many people. It brought in this many people to my account based on the hashtag. And so that's a nice way to analyze as well. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Always let us know what topics you are interested in. That's how this topic came about, by popular demand. So just let us know. Let us know right below this post in the comments. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a review. We would very much appreciate that. That is how we grow and we help more health and fitness-based coaches around the world. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.